Ahead of today's review, I have two important announcements. First is the official synopsis for Wonka on my local cinema's website. The story will focus specifically on a young Willy. I'm sure all of us can have a laugh at that. Number two, if Wonka is not a box office hit, we will collectively refer to it as a Willy flop. Those are all the announcements. My name is Ren, and this is my review of Wonka. Welcome back, movie fans. Thank you for joining me with your sweet chocolates in hand as we take a look on the brand new musical take on Roald Dahl's most famous character by way of the director of Paddington, as we follow a young Willy Wonka chock full of dreams and determined to open a shop at a city renowned for its chocolate, who discovers that the industry is run by a cartel of greedy chocolatiers, and Wonka is forced to remind the world that all good things in life begin with a dream. Now, as a frame of reference, I didn't grow up reading any Roald Dahl books. I didn't grow up watching any of the films. In fact, only within the last 5 years, I watched the original Gene Wilder starring Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory film in its completion. So walking into Wonka, I was only excited for it due to Paddington director Paul King. And once more, he delivers a charming and whimsical tale about dreamers and the creativity restraining system that restricts all that is pure and individual, which in and of itself is reflective of Roald Dahl's literary works. But it's also my favorite aspect of Wonka as a film, of Paul King as a director. This is a film completely unashamed of being pure-hearted, heartfelt, silly, whimsical, over the top. It's a film that is unafraid to be itself and wear its joy on its sleeve. And it's all the more beautiful for it. It's all the more infectiously lovable because of it. We don't get films carrying this level of earnest sincerity. Wonka does that. Paul King is unafraid to be too over the top or too silly or too whimsical. This film celebrates all those qualities that are so many times shunned and looked down on. And damn if I didn't enjoy Wonka all the more for it, if I don't respect Wonka all the more for it. Paul King's whimsical tale is told with a cheeky disdain for the elite, deepening the mystery of Wonka while standing on its own 2 feet. I say that because Wonka is, in all intents and purposes, a prequel. And again, I've not seen the Tim Burton Chocolate Factory movie in its entirety. If Wonka is meant to be a prequel in any of those two continuities, I feel it's more apropos of the Gene Wilder film. However, what's most intriguing about this movie as a prequel story is I want to see this pure-hearted, full of joy, awe-inspiring child become that cynical, worn down, doesn't trust the world, doesn't trust anybody Willy Wonka. I want to see that transformation. And so Wonka not only gives me a sweet film that is bound to be a massive winner with audiences and especially families this Christmas season, it makes me intrigued for more. Paul King not only delivers what is my favorite version of this character, he makes me want more adventures with him, in great part thanks to Timothée Chalamet, who is absolutely magnetic in this performance. Chalamet effortlessly brings Willy Wonka to life in a way we've never seen him before. Hopeless, lovable, whimsical, a wide-eyed optimist. He truly is a gifted performer who's allowed to run free, be funny, and show a side of himself he's never been allowed to show before. This is Timothée Chalamet, movie star. This is Timothée Chalamet, showman. He sings, he dances, he runs around, he makes a silly figure out of himself, and he's all the better and more charismatic for it. This is a film that has no superficial connections to any previous version of the character, but you feel that spirit, that joy of Gene Wilder in there, almost like a spiritual connection, without the film ever becoming too familiar. Chalamet more than matches King's sweet and wholesome Paddington blueprint, ever present in the film, even evoking the spirit of the Gene Wilder classic, but confident enough to carry out its own path, all with show-stopping musical numbers to boot, where Chalamet's versatility shines, making Wonka his own, which never fails to impress. Without question, to me, Wonka succeeds thanks to Paul King's unashamedly whimsical and charming direction, even with an admirably silly tone, striving for a sense of scale and scope far greater than anything Paul King has delivered before. The movie's biggest challenge is finding a truly memorable collection of songs due to story issues. The jokes work far better than the songs. I had great laughs in Wonka consistently. Even the more childish jokes that I probably wouldn't pay attention to come from such a sincerely innocent place. You can't help but feel the joy of it. And while the songs are good in isolation, as a whole, none of them really stuck with me by the end of the film. I only remember one song, and it's because I already know that song from other versions of Willy Wonka. Speaking of Willy Wonka, he might be the only truly memorable character in the film apart from the Oompa Loompa. Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa is fantastic. I would watch an entire film of just him. You have those two, and Grant isn't enough in the film. And everyone else, they're more highlighted because of who plays the characters. And perhaps the weirdest issue I ever had with the film in 7 years of doing this, Wonka doesn't make the chocolates look good. I didn't come out this film wanting chocolates, craving chocolates. I didn't watch this film craving the chocolates on screen. They just look weird. They look cool. They looked wonderful. They look intricate, but they don't look appetizing. Even the way they show on screen, they either look like small little creatures or really cool stamps or magnets to put in your fridge. And even when people eat them, it looks like they're eating the wrapping, because it always looks like they're within the wrapping. You can't even see the chocolates properly. It's very, very unsatisfying to watch a film all about chocolate and not desire chocolate on a raw level after the film. And those being my thoughts on Wonka so far, before I dive into my final thoughts, it's time for you to start the conversation about it in the comments below. What is your favorite version of Willy Wonka, and what Roald Dahl character would you like to see a prequel about? Anything and everything down there. And if you want to talk more movies and TV, I review movies and TV all the time, but if you want to talk more movies and TV with me right here, this is the place to be. Consider clicking that subscribe button and you won't miss any future conversations on your favorite movies and TV. Wonka is an absolute delight. Chalamet's affable energy turns into powerful showman charisma, carrying the Wonka legacy with expected charm and whimsy. King's direction is lively, bright, and joyful, and bound to leave audiences uplifted and hungry for chocolate. Hugh Grant is a scene stealer. I'm giving Wonka a B+. Thank you so much for watching. Share your thoughts and your excitement for Wonka in the comments below. Let me know what chocolate you want Wonka to leave you under your Christmas tree. Big shout out to my channel members for always supporting the channel. Now back very soon with more videos. So until the next one, love each other and love the movies.